A crucial theme of Brazilian jiu-jitsu is that of constantly fighting for better position on your opponent. Attaining a dominant position from where you can strike with complete ascendancy and move freely into submission holds is a huge part of ground fighting. As you grapple, you must constantly be working toward two goals: attaining a better position and finishing your opponent. These two goals are closely linked, since most of the submission holds can only be safely applied from a superior position. Your game must be infused with this spirit of constant forward progress toward the final goal of finishing the fight in an efficient manner. That is an essential part of good Brazilian jiu-jitsu. A great part of that constant forward progress is working your way up through the hierarchy of positions as you grapple. Here we see the transition from one very good position, across your opponent's side, to what is probably the very best position in a real fight: the mounted position. Moving from one position to another is real skill, one that is just as important as learning submission holds. Whenever you are in transition between positions, movement required enables your opponent to attempt various forms of escape. To maintain control of your opponent as you move to a new position requires the precise application of good technique. There are many ways to attain the mounted position. The hip switching method is one of the best. It offers good control of the opponent throughout the movement and is very quick. 1. You lie across your opponent. By itself, this position is very good. From here you can perform a series of holds. However, here is how to improve your chances even more by moving into a position on top of your opponent. Pay attention to the initial position of the hands. They are on the far side of the opponent's body. The elbows are on the floor. 2. Raise your hips by straightening both legs and resting on your feet. Then change the position of the hips, turning them in the direction of the opponent's legs, and sit on the thigh closest to the opponent. You must be sure to place your foot parallel to your opponent's. The other leg is set far back to strengthen the support and prevent the roll back if the opponent suddenly arches and turns to you. Note that the palm of the hand closest to the opponent's thighs is placed on the upper thigh of the opponent's near leg. Here you can see the hips turning from a different angle. The hips are placed so that they look at the opponent's hips. The leg is directed along the line of the opponent's body. The second is set aside for stability. The hand rests on the opponent's near thigh and controls his movements. Here you can also see the hips turning from a different angle. Pay attention to the tension of the position. The elbow lies on the floor, pressed against the opponent's head, near the ear. This gives you great control over the movement of the head and therefore the movements of the opponent's whole body, and also prevents him from seeing what you are planning to do. Note that the hips push the opponent's near arm outward, making it much more difficult for the opponent to free himself. 3. Now you can easily throw your back, for better support, leg over the opponent's legs and put it on the other side of his body. The hand resting on the opponent's near thigh can be used to push the opponent's legs and hips down, making it easier to remove his legs. 4. Move your hips forward and mount your opponent. Then place your hands on the floor far apart, gaining good footing and preventing your opponent from turning you over while he secures his position.